be more aggressive. That was my plan last time, but I kind of stayed back because I thought I had to reach on him, and I was just going to jab him and stay away. This time I'm just going to go right after him, take it right to him from the get-go. Just start off strong and not... I ended strong last time, this time I'm going to start strong. Finish strong enough so the whole fight will be strong.
And this is 28-year-old Alexis Hloros from Dearborn, Michigan. He enters his 6th professional fight here tonight against Jason Ward. And Steve, with that first fight ending as a draw, how important is it for a fighter's confidence to win that rematch?
Well, it's very important because it shows that they can progress. And both of them should have a lot of confidence because they both felt like they won the first fight. So I'm expecting a better than the original sequel coming up.
And we asked Alexis Hloros earlier what his game plan is.
My game plan is going to be just what I did before. I'm going to listen to my corner, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to stick to my jab, and everything's going to fall off of that.
We are set now for the official introductions. Let's send it into the ring, and our ring announcer, Andre Cordelage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heavy Hitter Promotions and Carlos Linus International Productions Night of Knockouts 2 here at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center in Dearborn, Michigan. Tonight's bouts will be held under the auspices of the Michigan Athletic Commission, Commissioner Al Lowe, Inspector in Charge Jesse Lopez. Your judges scoring tonight's contest are Tim Derwenke, Jim Humayan, and Herman McAlpay. Your timekeepers are Dan Graschuk and Dan Kalinowski. Your physicians at ringside will be Evans Ferris and Peter Samet, and your referees will be Frank Garza and Dale Grable. Your sponsors for all of tonight's action are the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund, 188 Trash It, and C4 Energy Explosion. This is your first fight of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and there will be blood. It will be contested in the junior middleweight division and is scheduled for 4 rounds. Referee Frank Garza in charge. Introducing first, fighting on the blue corner and wearing the white with blue trunks, he weighed in at 152.5 pounds and has an undefeated professional record of 1 victory and 2 draws. He comes to us from Manistee, Michigan. Please welcome the Warrior, Jason Ward! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the yellow trunks. This young man weighed in at 153 pounds and fights out of Dearborn, Michigan. He sports a professional record of 1 victory by way of knockout, 2 draws, and 2 defeats. Put your hands together for Alexis Hurricane Hloros! Referee Frank Garza will now give the instructions.
Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the back.
And right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups.
Well, what stands out to me is that War is 2 inches taller, so you think he would normally have a reach advantage, but he doesn't. He has a 3-inch deficit.
There's the bell, round number 1.
So what I noticed, Tom, is both fighters have come out very aggressively, so they both want to make a statement right off the bat. Both have traded leather, both have landed. Said, oh, there was a good shot landed right there by Lua. The Boris coming pretty well.
Fighters started very aggressively here.
Yeah, and you wonder if they're going to waste a lot of energy early on, if they're going to be able to sustain this for 4 rounds, because last time they both got a little winded by the end of the fight.
Alexis Hloros did say he's going to try and establish a jab. He has had 1 fight since the first time he faced War, and that was down. And down goes War right there.
And he's hurt, Tom. He does not know where he is.
Referee right now counting, Frank Garza.
Very wobbly legs. This is iffy. Well, they're going to let it go, but he was hurt. Oh,
And
he's
coming
hurt again.
out real strong right now is Alexis Hloros.
He's in trouble, Tom. He really is in trouble there. He took a combination. He's just breathing hard to try to stay on. Oh, he's just taking a right and a left. Tom, he's ready to go.
And this fight is over. Referee Frank Garza sees enough. A very impressive performance. Alexis Hloros coming out here tonight, Steve, in very impressive fashion.
Well, last time it was a very close fight. Neither guy could have won, but he left no doubt. This was a 30-second barn burner, and the punches were flying from him. It was like a different fighter this time around. It wasn't a long fight, but it was an exciting fight while it lasted.
Well, we will take a look now at some of the action. And here it is, Steve. You see the right hand right there landing, and straight down goes Ward.
Yeah, this is the first knockdown. It didn't look like he'd get up. But he showed a lot of guts getting up, but he really took a beating. But the fight only lasted 1 minute and 14 seconds, so a lot of action for 60 seconds.
Well, Jason Hloros certainly showed a lot of heart here tonight, as he did in their first meeting. So he can certainly still hang his head high. But Alexis Hloros now upping his record to 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. And we're going to take a look once again at some of the action. There's that right hand landing, and down went War to the canvas. A devastating right hand. And we look forward to seeing much, much more of Alexis Hloros, as we're going to now get the official time of the stoppage and send it into the ring, and our ring announcer, Andre Portemont.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Garza waves a stop to the fight at 1 minute and 14 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO, Alexis Hloros!
Well, it was quick work for Alexis Hloros here tonight. And we're going to take a look once again at that knockout. Here it is. War's back against the ropes. Hloros was coming in with some clubbing right hands, an uppercut right there. And that was it. That's what ended the fight right there. Our referee in charge, Frank Garza, had seen enough, and rightfully so, stops this contest. So let's send it into the ring right now. Take it away, Steve.
Well, we're here with the winner, and last time it was a draw, but this time you left no doubt. What got into you?
I was just really excited for this fight when my promoter told me that right after we had the first fight, he wanted to fight me right away again. And I thought that I'd beat him the first fight. So when I heard that he wanted to fight me real bad, I was putting the train real hard because I knew he had a lot of heart. So I just, just listened to my game plan, my coach's corner, Charlie Peters and Angel, and we just came out here and had my business.
Well, what impressed me was the fact that right off the bat, you came out like a whirlwind. Were you worried you might get tired if you tried to sustain that?
Yeah, I was kind of a little worried about that, but I've been running so much that I knew I wasn't going to get tired, and I was too pumped up with all my support here. And I'd just like to dedicate this fight here to all the Iraqi soldiers, the fallen soldiers, and the people that lost their family members in Iraq that's fighting across the war. This fight was for you.
Well, you certainly deserve the congratulations that you're going to get this evening. And what's next for you?
I'm just going to probably fight at the Soaring Eagle Casino next month. If as long as it's looking good for me with Carlos Linas and Gino Chicarella, I'll be fighting at the casino next month.
Well, Tom, we have an exciting night of action tonight with this young man. It looks like we'll see him again in a month. Back to you.
Hope so, Steve. Congratulations to Alexis Hloros, victorious here tonight in very, very impressive fashion. Your lightweight division has carried.
And I feel like I'm at the crossroads in my career. If I don't, which is if the worst happens, I don't win tonight, I'm gonna give up boxing for about a year. So I keep working with these kids and preparing these future champs.
You know, Dan Wallace really seems like he has a grudge against Alex Hloros. I believe. And speaking of Hloros, he's now coming out. Now, what's interesting about Mr. Hloros is he started out 1-2-2, and now he's 6-2-2. So he's gotten himself really on track and has run off a nice, impressive win streak for him.
I definitely see he's one of the crowd favorites. He's a good guy too. He's a Christian. I like him. He's tough as nails. He's on the upside. He's won like 4 or 5 fights in a row. Yes, he's hot too. He's a hot prospect right now.
Well, we had
real good.
We had a chance to talk to him about his career earlier this evening.
And I'm really excited about fighting tonight because I got a pretty game opponent, and I'm really pumped up about fighting because he's supposed to be pretty good, and I'm just really, really excited. I want to go out there and I want to get a knockout because I really don't like him that much because he's rude. But I want to have fun out there tonight. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, it looks like the fighters are getting ready for the introductions, as is our Kara Rowe, so we'll go to her now.
Your next bout of the evening is brought to you in part by TalkMotion.com, 1-888-TRASH-IT, Let's Rumble Enterprises, Medals in Time, President's Tuxedo, R2 Automation, and America's Guardian Angel Fund. This contest is scheduled for 6th round in the light middleweight division. Your referee in charge is Mr. Dale Grable. To my right, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 157 pounds. He sports a professional record of 9 wins, 5 losses, fighting out of Adrian, Michigan. Please welcome Dan Flawless Wallace. And in my left, in the red corner, he weighed in at 155 pounds. He comes with a pro record of 6 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, fighting out of Mount Clemens, Michigan. Please welcome Alexis, the Hurricane Hloros.
Well, as the referee gives the instructions, Cornelius, bring us through the matchups.
Looks like it's matched to the team. I really like the nicknames: Flawless, Dan Wallace Flawless, and Lex Hurricane. So we're going to see if the Hurricane can be flawless and the flawless can be a hurricane. The fight reaches 26 and a half and to 28, so it's really like dead even. But Dan has been in more wars.
Well, we'll see if it's even here in the boxing match as the bell rings, beginning of round 1. Alex Hloros from the red corner, and he's wearing the white trunks with the blue stripe. And Dan Wallace from the blue corner wearing the black trunks and the silver band. In case you don't know who he is, he's got Wallace written down the front. But boy, they've come out here just swinging wildly, Cornelius.
Yes, looks like Lex is going for the KO. I mean, he is not playing. Whatever Dan has said to him, he should have said it.
Well, a lot of bad blood between these two fighters. They were jawing at the weigh-in. They were jawing before the fights. They've let it be known they do not like each other. And I think that's showing here in the first round, because it looks like they've come out like a barroom brawl in the first 30 seconds throwing punches at each other.
Yes, one fight in this fight.
Well, Hloros seems to be getting the better of the exchanges. That's a nice right hand. One thing I don't like from it is he keeps pushing his mouthpiece, both of them do, to the front of their teeth and then pulling it off a little bit rather than protecting their teeth.
That's like bad habits that they get from the gym. Hopefully they can correct that later on in their career.
Oh, good uppercut. Owen Wallace nods in acknowledgement.
This is an exciting fight.
Well, Wallace trying to do a little bit of trickery there. I'm not quite sure what it accomplished, other than to show us a few dance steps. Maybe he's getting ready for Dancing with the Stars. Oh, a nice assault here by Hloros, and looks like he's landing some effective punches.
Yes, he's showboating, but on the strip of him showboating, it looked like it gave him confidence, because when he rolled his shoulders and moved his head, he didn't get hit. And then he came forward with 3 jabs. I believe Lex needs to take the confidence away from Dan. He can become a dangerous fighter with confidence.
Hloros landing a little bit of a right hand, but Wallace turning to the audience as if to say he doesn't have anything.
It's dangerous. You got to protect yourself at all times. I wish the guy would look outside the ring when he knew what he needs.
Oh, some action, toe-to-toe action against the ropes, but again, it looks like technique is going out the window, Cornelius, and we're having like just an old-fashioned brawl in here.
You have to turn your shots over. It looks like Lex is turning his shots over, and Dan is kind of like smacking. He has to turn his shots over if he wants to get an effective punch.
Wallace now trying to work behind the jab, but Hloros is following and countering with lead right hands. Hloros then just uses the jab to try to set up a combination. It looks like Hloros, to me, Cornelius, is winning the battle into the jabs. Maybe he has a little bit better hand speed.
Yes. Dan has experience, but I think that Lex has the will to win. He's not going to let his fans down. And Dan, I don't know if he's on the way out or not, but we'll find out.
Oh, left hook lands. Hloros lands a left hook, followed by 2 rights. He's got Wallace in a little bit of trouble. Now a counter left by Wallace. Boy, these guys, you can tell, don't like each other.
Good fight.
Well, I didn't even hear the 10-second warning. Just the bell. I wonder if that was a little bit of a short round. Well, A lot of action, and we'll take a break into the Royal Oak Theater. Round 2 is our ring curl card girl. Make sure we don't lose track by any distractions that might be in the ring. But speaking of action in the ring, Cornelius, here's some action from the previous round. Bring us through.
Alexis trying to make him pay for whatever he said. He's throwing bombs away at Dan, but Dan comes back with a counter hook. But he's standing straight up. That can be dangerous.
A lot of action in round 1 as we get ready for round 2. The bell rings. Hloros in the white trunks, Wallace in the black trunks. Action-packed first round. Both fighters anxious to take each other out, but it looks like they've settled down here in the second round.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's the battle of jabs right now. But I'm quite sure the battle of jabs will go out the door. With a left hook or right hook or right hand from Lex. Dan is moving his head real good, using his jab. Lex is using his jab too. It's a battle of jabs right now. We're trying to triple jab right hand.
As Wallace pushes Hloros to the ropes, it looks like they've settled down from less of a barroom brawl to more traditional boxing techniques. But it looks like Hloros got in a right followed by right uppercut. And even though none of those landed flush, I think they did do a little bit of scoring.
Yes. Lex has to be careful not to lose his final decision because this guy is crafty. He's a veteran and he doesn't look like he can knock Lex out. But throwing a little pity patch, he's building up points.
Hard rounds to judge. I'll tell you, we're having just great action here at this night of knockouts too. And we have to thank our sponsor, TalkMotion.com, the world leader in telecommunications with unlimited calling plans. If you enjoyed tonight's action, you can go learn more about the company that brings it to you by going to www.talkmotion.com for more details. We certainly want to support our sponsors because they are bringing us tremendous fights tonight, and this looks like a very entertaining fight as well from Hloros.
Yes. I'm real surprised to see that Lex is using his jab. He's normally a guy that goes in to try to knock you out, but he's settling down using his jab, and that's smart. He's saving a lot of energy by doing that, because I think that Dan wants to take Lex in later rounds and try to drown Lex or have Lex to punch himself out and get tired.
Oh, and the right hand gets through a little bit by Wallace. Now Wallace becomes the aggressor and tries to pin Hloros against the ropes, and he lands an uppercut on Hloros.
Oh, that was a good uppercut. Good right uppercut. I think Lex needs to wake up because Dan is starting to get a lot of confidence.
How have you seen this fight so far? How did you score the first round?
I scored the first round for Lex. Second round looks like Dan is winning the second round.
I have it the same way, although you never know how a round might end. Somebody might try to steal it with a flurry of action, but so far it looks to me as Wallace has actually been a little more aggressive here in the second round.
Yes, it looks like Lex is actually resting, which is smart. He's going to go a long distance.
Well, they started out on 78 RPM, and but a good right hand lands, and now they're on 33 for those old enough to remember records.
Yeah, it's real good. It's real good to see that Lex is using his jab, though. Instead of just throwing bombs. You know, when you miss a punch, you take a while to miss a punch and actually land.
Both fighters landing good combinations. Hloros coming back now after Wallace got the better of it in the first part of the round, and there's the bell. So that's the end of round 2. We'll now take a break and bring you back with round 3. Rounds 1 and 2 are full of action, and here's replays from round 2.
Yes, Lex threw a left hook right hand. Didn't quite connect with it, but he did throw a left hook right hand. And Dan is just throwing punches from here and there and here. Lex is setting up the right hand. Oh, what he did, he threw a jab. He's just throwing shots, just trying to land. Fought a smart round the last round.
I don't know quite what's going on. Perhaps some trouble in the corner. I think they said he has too much Vaseline. So we get ready for round 3 in a tremendous action-packed fight brought to you by TalkMotion.com, one of our sponsors. First 2 rounds certainly have been entertaining as we start round 3. How do you have it on your scorecards through 2, Cornelius?
The last round, I believe Lex stole the round at the end. I have Lex winning around 2 rounds to 0.
Certainly that second round might have gone either way.
Yeah, Dan was winning the round, but then Lex stole the round at the end.
Now it looks like Hloros has opened up the third round by landing a quite effective combination of punches. He's certainly the aggressor.
And he's actually using his jab. Lex, he uses the jab, but he doesn't use the jab as much as he's using one tonight.
Well, it's certainly setting up his right hand. It's also keeping Wallace at bay. And right as I say that, Wallace unleashes a combination. But Wallace, to me, looks like he's fading a little bit.
But I don't know what's wrong with his stamina. I don't know if he's taking boxing serious because he done lost a few fights in a row. I mean, you can't play boxing. You can play basketball, football, but you can't play boxing. Good jab. See, Lex is throwing his jab. That's going to help him in his career. You have to have a jab. The jab is the key.
He's being more consistent, whereas Wallace is fighting in spurts this round.
I agree.
But it may be that first part of the second round where Wallace was dominating, he just used too much energy, wasn't in the shape to have a consistent effort all the way through. We'll find out. But I do agree with you that Hloros is setting up his shots with the jab, and looks like he's effectively moving Wallace back to the ropes.
Yes, it's very hard to actually throw left hook, right hook, right hook through a whole fight. It'll tire you out. I don't care what kind of shape you're in. But he's using his jab effectively, and he's getting the points. And then with the record that Dan has, losing 2-3 fights in a row, it'll be hard for him to get a decision in Lex's home crowd, and his home crowd. His
hometown.
In his hometown. Thank you.
Hloros now looking like he's trying to set things up with the jab, but Wallace is on his bicycle. But Wallace is gasping for air, so you have the sense that the tide has begun to turn to Hloros' way.
Yeah. Oh, good body shot.
Oh, another good body shot by Wallace, but now effectively countered by Hloros. And Hloros works the body again.
This fight right here is actually going to help Lex a whole lot. Because he's actually in there with a guy that's durable, is not going anywhere, and he has to fight. Even when you don't want to fight, you have to fight.
Well, we certainly have two fighters pressing the action. Hloros, the aggressor for the majority of the rounds, but Wallace does come back on him. And now a right hand gets through by Hloros, but Wallace counters it. As we come to the 10-second mark, Hloros lands an uppercut, and it looks like he's trying to finish the round strongly, just as he ended round 2. And there's the bell. Here, round 4, in what has been a very action-packed 3 rounds. Two fighters that don't like each other, and we have the replay here from round 3 for him.
I bet you they're going to have a lot of respect for each other after this fight. Right now, Dan is on defense, and Lex is on offense, throwing big chopping shots. Straight right hand. He's smothering himself, though. People just get some distance. Oh, you see that Dan tries to catch him with right uppercut, but he misses.
Round 4 between Alex Hloros and Dan Wallace. A fight that has seen both fighters have their moments, but Hloros, I believe, has the edge. How do you have it on your scorecard?
I believe Dan may have won that last round. He probably got one round in, but he's not doing enough. Lex is the aggressor, he's using the jab more. And it looks like Dan is actually just giving the fight away. I mean, you're coming off 2-3 losses in a row. You need to show some urgency, some hunger. I mean, do you really want to do this or not?
Oh, good jab, followed by a right hand by Hloros.
Lex is fighting a really good fight. Whether he knocks Dan out or not, this is like the best performance I ever saw from him.
Well, a nice technical performance after he settled down after that first round. But Hloros is landing his jab effectively and coming in on him and setting up combinations. Although to Wallace's credit, he continues to counter and occasionally lands on his own.
I think Wallace is his worst enemy because he's not doing enough. I believe he used to do a lot more. His fight to be more competitive, but he's just doing enough to lose.
Hloros continues to try to move in behind the jab. Tries to land the uppercut, but it misses. Wallace counters with the right to the body. Not much on it, though. But nice jab work by Hloros, and I think he's nothing else. He's scoring with these jabs.
Yeah, Lex is throwing jabs and uppercuts and left hook. His jab is setting everything up. He's taking some off his shots. I believe his last fight taught him a lesson. He got a lot of experience in his last fight. He's doing real good. I'm very impressed.
Oh, and a little right chopping uppercut landed by Hloros. For a moment, I thought he might have stunned Wallace, and I think he did, because Wallace has taken a couple of shots after that. Sometimes those short little shots have more on them than the long punches.
Yes, you're right. The short shots, you notice Mike Tyson throws short shots to get guys out of there, so short shots are effective. when you punch, when you turn your shots over and use your shoulders. I believe this fight right here is going to come down to conditioning.
Well, speaking of conditioning, don't you think Hloros might do a little better if he worked the body a little more?
Exactly. If he goes to the body more, it actually will help him even more.
I think the pace is slowing down a little bit. I'm wondering if fatigue is a factor now for both fighters.
I agree. We sure will find out. That was a good jab up. See, but Alexis is going to fight off the jab. He's doing enough to win. Dan is doing enough to lose.
Oh, two good stiff jabs. Snap the head back of Wallace. Oh, a third stiff jab. He might win the fight just on the jab.
Exactly. You need to watch this fight and watch it over and over again because the jab is the key for all young fighters out there. Use the jab.
As we come to the 10-second mark, the fighters exchange some good hard shots. But oh, Hloros gets the better of it. Hloros lands a right, another right. Oh, Wallace is coming back. Toe-to-toe action here at the end of the round. Here, round 5, our ring card girl, very helpful there. Cornelius bring us through the action here at the end of round 4.
That jab has actually had it under his left hook and right hand. He started off with a jab. And now he has Dan on retreat and throw on bombs. Dan comes back at the end of the round, but I don't know if that was enough to steal the round.
As we begin round 5, Alex Hloros versus Dan Wallace. Wallace in the black, Hloros in the white. I would have to say that last round seemed to be a tie turner where Hloros really looked like he asserted himself in this.
Yes. If Dan actually gets some momentum off the last few punches he gave coming into this round, he would be okay, but just doesn't look that way.
Oh, but Wallace does land a right. That was set up by the jab, and now he lands the left on Hloros.
You never know.
We might be seeing a little bit of a rally by Wallace, but right as I say that, Hloros comes back. Now Wallace comes back. Now Hloros comes back. Hloros coming back tough. But Wallace trying to fight off the ropes. Toe-to-toe action here in the 5th round. Both fighters want this one. Oh, some tremendous shots being landed here.
I like what I see that's going on with Lex as far as his growth in boxing right now, because he's using his jab a whole lot and he's taking everything off his punches, which actually is not going to have him tired later rounds.
But Wallace survived that assault, and both fighters now are probably taking a little bit of a breather. Both of them breathing through their mouths. That shows tired fighters. Now Wallace is grabbing to hold on. That shows me again that his fatigue factor is setting in.
Yeah, I believe that coming into the fight, they both wanted to hurt each other real bad. So in the first couple of rounds, they kind of like punched themselves out. But Lex, being smart, the smarter fighter right now, he actually saved some by taking some off his shots. That's why he's able to throw more combination. And he's using his jab. He got a good coach in Keith Lee.
Well, Wallace continues to grab and hold, which shows me that fatigue may be a bigger factor with him. As Hloros tries just to wind up and land one. Oh, there's that jab again, and I think he'd be well served if he kept doing it. Oh, jab again. Well, Wallace comes back with a 4-punch combination of the midsection of Hloros. Not a lot on those punches, but they are scoring. Oh, right hand by Wallace. Another right hand. Wallace has a little bit of a rally. Now Hloros comes back. Ebb and flow, back and forth. We have a good one on our hands.
Oh yeah, this is a good fight because you never know. I mean, I get caught in my words sometimes just watching the fight because you never know what's going to happen. I think one thing's going to happen and something else happens.
That's the beauty of boxing. It's really a chess match in there. One punch can change the whole game.
Yes. Let's have to watch his balance because he threw a right hand off balance. You see, you get caught like that.
Yeah, I don't like where his feet end up sometimes. He squares up. But he does land a right hand there. Trying to work the body, but his punches just don't have as much on him as they did earlier. Oh, lands a nice little left hook, but again, no starch on it.
He's fighting a good fight. Lex is fighting a real good fight. I'm very impressed. And Dan's not doing enough to win.
You know, an argument can be made. He might learn more winning on points than knocking him out as we come to the 10-second warning. For the end of the round, another good round for Hloros. As both fighters try to end with a fury to try to steal the round. Hloros comes with a right hand, and there's the bell. We'll be back with more action from this action-packed fight in just a moment. Come back to Royal Theater, where we join the corner. That looks like a Dan Wallace getting his instructions. Looks like his trainer's giving him some pretty emphatic advice for him.
Yeah, it's like he's shorting him up.
And here's action from the previous round.
Yeah, that's when he threw the shot and he put himself off balance. Gotta watch your balance. If you get caught off balance, anything can happen.
Want to touch up, even though there's bad blood, they show a little bit of sportsmanship as we begin the last round. How do you have a judge going into this last round?
I believe Dan has won maybe one round for sure, or maybe two. But Alexis, you know, he's fighting a good fight. His jab is effective. He's taking some of his shots to have some later in the round. He's got a lot of experience.
Well, Hloros just lands 2 rights to the third right hand. He's got Wallace in trouble. He's got him against the ropes. Wallace has been buckled. Left hook lands. Another left hook lands. Oh, but look at Wallace come back. Toe-to-toe action. These guys don't like each other, and they're showing it. Wallace doesn't want to go down. He doesn't want to lose the fight. It looks like he's weathered the storm.
Man, this is a good fight, especially out there all the way to the end, because you just never know. You never know. They both want it. And only one guy's going to get this fight. And that's the one that's the hungrier out of the two that's using the jab. Which looks like it's going to be Lex. Unless Dan can throw a bomb and catch him.
I do notice that Hloros has a mouse, pretty good mouse in his right eye now, showing that Wallace's punches have done some damage. And if you think about it, you said Wallace may have won 2 rounds. If that's the case, this fight could be as close as 3-2, which means that Wallace could get a draw if he wins this round, but he's not going to win the round here.
Right.
Oh, Hloros landed a nice uppercut and again pushes him against the ropes. Oh, the right hand lands.
Sometimes as fighters, you believe you're doing better than what you actually are doing. And I think that's what's happening right now with Dan. You probably think he's winning the fight. If he loses the fight, you're going to think he got robbed, but he's not good enough to win.
Not with those uppercuts landing by Hloros. He landed another right uppercut and has Wallace holding on. The question is how much Hloros has left, whether he can possibly finish off Wallace or if he's going to go to a decision.
Lex is trying to land a bomb. I can see it. I know Lex, from the gym, so I know what he's trying to do.
Well, there he goes. He has hurt Wallace in the fight, but he has not dropped him. But I think there's so much pride in this fight that I think Wallace does not want to go out on his back. If he's going to lose, he wants to go out standing up.
Yeah. I'm interested. Oh, good shot. Right uppercut, left hook. Oh, good right uppercut.
Wallace in trouble. Wallace about to go down. Wallace is down. Wallace is down. And he is hurt. He is hurt bad. His feet are wobbly. He now seems to know where he is. The ref is taking a good look at him. He wants to continue. He does not want to go out on his back. This is a pride grudge match. Hloros comes back. Hloros lands 3 unanswered shots. Hloros lands a right combination. Another right-left against the road. Wow, the fight is over. Fight is over.
Lex is back. Lex ain't with nowhere.
Alexis Hloros, a dramatic finish to what had been a competitive technical fight at points, and at other points a wild draw. Wild draw has a dramatic punctuation mark. Boy, Alexis Hloros really wanted that bad, Cornelius, because you know he was tired, you know he was gasping for air, he had a game opponent, yet somehow he found the energy to finish a very game Dan Wallace.
He wanted it. He wanted it more than Dan wanted it. I don't know what Dan showed up today, but I know what Lex showed up tonight. Lex wanted it way more than Dan wanted it. He used his jab effectively, and at the end, he closed the show.
Well, we had a lot of action, and here's some of it. Cornelius, bring us through it.
He's finished the show. Left uppercut, left hook, and boxing.
Well, here's some more action.
Left hook, right hand. This is when Dan is hurt. Dan got hurt. Oh, he's hurt with another right hand. Left hook, right hand. He done got hit with everything. Look, now he just moves out the way and lets him fall. At that point in time, I don't think Dan knows where he's at.
Well, a dramatic end, and for the official announcement at that end, we go to Kara Rowe.
And your winner, by TKO at 2:53 in the 6th round, Alexis the Hurricane Hloros.
Was certainly a well-deserved win by Alexis Hloros. You know, it was a competitive fight, I thought, even though Hloros was coming on at the end, but you didn't have the feeling at the end of 5 rounds that this was going to end in a knockout the way it did 1 round later.
You're right. Both guys were tired, so I thought it was going to be a decision. But then Lex had something in the tank. He wanted it more. He proved it. He got Dan out of there.
Well, it certainly was a tremendous finish, and a lot of celebrations. It's going to be a night in the Hloros household. Well, speaking of Hloros, let's go to him with our own Kara Rowe.
Lex, you guys started out banging in the first round. How much was that a result of the animosity of the weigh-ins yesterday?
It had a lot to do with it. I wanted to stop him because he kept taunting me in the weigh-in today. I wanted to show him that I could take him out, and that's just what I did.
Now, Lex, tell me what your corner said to you, Keith Lee said to you before going into the second round, because then you started boxing and it really changed the composition of the fight.
He told me quit banging with him, he could take a punch, stick to the jab, go to the body on him. He gave me some really good shots to the body, so I started tightening up, so I'll be able to come out with a victorious win.
Congratulations, Lex.
Thank you very much.
I'm back to see you.
Well, thank you, Kara. We certainly had a dramatic finish to the fight. Unfortunately, we have it on tape. Certainly a tremendous fight sponsored by TalkMotion.com. So we'll take a little break so we can regroup from that tremendous action, and we'll be back with you in a moment. Royal Oak Music Theater, in our next bout, we have Corey Peterson in a 6-round bout against Alexis Hloros in the 147-pound welterweight division.
He's a boxer that lives up to his moniker, the Man Bomber. He likes to come out and really throw some big bombs.
Yeah, the overcoming of the fights, being the underdog is one of my best feats. So, I mean, that's I love being underdog, and we love to win on the road. So that's why we take a lot of fights on the road.
Well, we had a chance to talk to him, and now we get a chance to see him in the ring. He has probably one of the more interesting facial designs there, Frank.
He's very imposing. Yeah, he brings a very imposing manner into the ring.
Looks menacing. Well, now his opponent, Alexis Hloros, is coming out, and Alexis was very, very confident in his fight, in his pre-fight talks. He's very relaxed, Frank. You can see here he's hugging the crowd.
Well, you know what? I think there's an unknown factor in this fight, and that is that he's been training with a guy by the name of Greg Owens, who used to train Booker Ward and James Toney. So I'm very anxious to see whether you can see a little bit of James Toney in the way that Alexis Hloros fights now.
Well, he continues to kiss and hug the crowd. He looks like he's having fun in there.
He's very, very relaxed as he was in the dressing room, and he said to me that he's very, very happy with this new trainer he has, and that he's a completely new boxer. So I'm looking forward to see how he looks tonight.
Well, we had a chance to talk with him before the fight about his confidence, the confidence of the opponent. So let's listen to what he had to say for himself.
Well, actually, it's really good for me to fight somebody that I've known about, because it gives me this little edge, because it gets me a little excited to fight somebody that I know is pretty good. So I heard he's a pretty good fighter, so I'm really excited to see how good he can stand up to my power tonight.
Now let's go up to the ring for our own Kara Rowe.
Next bout is in the welterweight division and is brought to you by Casa Real, Flatline Gear, Ital Moda, The Fight Shop, 188 Trash It, Black Tie Limo, R2 Automation, Let's Rumble Enterprise, and Trumps on 8 Mile. To my right, fighting out of the blue corner with a record of 7 wins, 4 losses, 4 by KO from Bay City, Michigan, please welcome Corey, the Mad Bomber Peterson. And to my left, fighting out of the red corner, sporting a record of 7-2-2, 6 by KO from Dearborn, Michigan, please welcome Alexis, the Hurricane Hloros. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing, and your referee in charge is Steve Dayer.
Well, Frank, take us through the matchups.
Well, you know, Hloros has a slight edge in the height and reach, but when it comes to the tattoo and the six-pack, I think they're both dead even.
Referee finishes instructions as we begin a 6-round welterweight fight between Alexis Hloros, wearing the white trunks with the blue lettering, against Corey Peterson, who's wearing the purple trunks with the orange and black band.
It's a very evenly matched fight.
There's round 1, the bell. Hloros comes out.
Steve. He's still hurt.
Oh, and Morris comes out and tries to finish the job. He's landing great combinations. So down goes Peterson. What a dramatic statement by Alexis Hloros, and the crowd is going crazy. That was a dramatic knockout. Boy, did he come out and make a statement.
I'll tell you what, I think when he changed trainers or when he hired that new trainer, it really made a difference.
But it looks like $1 million.
He just dodged that punch that Peterson threw and countered with the right hand and caught him right on the edge of the chin.
Well, it was a tremendous performance, and I was very impressed with the way he finished his opponent.
Here we're going to watch a replay here. There's that right hand. He went under Peterson's right hand and countered with his own right hand and caught Peterson right on the chin. Hloros knew he had him hurt, and he's just gonna finish it. Hasn't landed one yet. Peterson's still in it. Oh, he got him with an uppercut. That was it.
Yeah, he's completely unconscious at that point, and he set it up with two right hooks to the head, which really didn't do much damage, but I think it caused the spacing between the elbows and gloves that allowed him to come up the center with the uppercut, because Peterson was trying to protect the sides of his head, so Hloros just came up right down the middle. Well, I believe our Kara Rowe has the decision.
KO, 24 seconds in the first round. Your winner,
Well, now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. In the first round, the only round.
Well, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it's the 13th punt.
Well, it was that uppercut that missed wildly the first time, and you could see it had bad intentions on it. I also noticed as Corey Peterson went down, his head snapped on the canvas, which hurt him further. But we have the winner, Alexis Hloros, with Kara Rowe.
Thanks, Steve. Now, Alexis, talk to me about this fight. Corey has an extensive amateur career. He was vicious early in his pro career. Talk to me about this KO.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the ability to come out here and perform. I heard a lot about Corey Peterson out there and stories of how great a fighter he is. I trained really hard for him. I've seen him beat Patrick Bird and win a belt. He's a really great fighter, so I knew I trained really hard to come out here. And I practiced on that right hand because I injured my left hand in training. So I caught him with a good shot, and he couldn't recover fast enough. But I take my hat off to him. He's a very great fighter.
Now, Alexis, what can you take away from this fight? It only lasted 24 seconds.
I guess I'm not gonna, take too much time away from the gym. I mean, I came in here and like I said, I practiced on that shot to catch him with, and I landed it. And I'm just gonna take care of that. I just came out confident. I came out of the fight, even though I had an injured hand. I still want to come out here and fight hard. That's what I did, to put a fantastic show on for the fans.
Thanks, Alexis. Congratulations. Back to you, Steve.
Well, thank you, Kara, with our flatline interview. But a tremendous first-round knockout, and we have that on tape. Frank, if you'll bring us through it.
So this is at the opening bell. Both boxers come out. Peterson throws a right hand, misses, and Alexis connects with the counter right hand and puts Peterson down. And I mean, he really put him down hard. As you can see, he's having quite difficulty getting up. And he staggers over to the corner trying to regain his faculties and takes the full 8 count. Yeah, Alexis knows that he's just one punch away from stopping him. And he comes in there and throws a barrage of punches and finally lands that right uppercut and ends it for the evening.
Well, end it he did, and now we'll go to a break. In our next bout coming up, Alexis Hloros versus Bernard Harris. Bernard Harris coming out now in what should be a tremendous fight, Frank. And we had a chance to speak with Bernard Harris about all the fighters he's been in, the fact he's been up there, and whether he thinks that's an advantage, and this is what he had to say.
I feel like my experience made a big difference in the fight tonight. I plan on relaxing, taking the deep work, and boxing time.
Now coming into the ring is going to be Alexis Hloros, who's giving us quite a bit of action in the ring and giving a little action outside of the ring as he hugs the crowd. He's certainly a fan favorite here, Frank.
He's got one of the best ring entrances in the Detroit area today.
Got a great smile, a great personality, and we had a chance to see that personality and that smile in his ring interview coming up next.
Well, it means a lot to me because, first of all, I've known him, and I know he's from a great trainer, and I've seen him around, and I've you know, talked to him a bunch of times, and it's going at a guy that I know a lot about. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with my power, because he's getting a little older now, and I got a lot of respect for him because he's taking a step up in weight to fight me. So I'm just real excited to see what's going to happen tonight.
So back with you, waiting on the opening bell between Alexis Hloros and Bernard Harris. Quite a matchup, Frank, between a veteran Harris, at one time was rated number 8 in the world, against a rising star here locally, Alexis Hloros.
Well, you know, Alexis is going to have his hands full because Harris moves around the ring quite a bit. And we're going to have to see whether he can cut off the ring. I think we're going to see some old school boxing here. And I'm saying that because of the people that are in the corners of both camps. We've got some old school trainers. Greg Owens over in the other corner. He brought up guys like James Tony, Booker Word. We'll see what he taught Alexis.
Well, let's get this bout underway with the official announcements from Carol.
It's brought to you by Flatline MMA and Boxing Gear, Italia Moda, Hype Athletics, 1-888 Trash It, 6 Salon, Let's Rumble Enterprise, President's Tuxedo, The Fight Shop, and Trumps on 8 Mile. To my right, fighting out of the blue corner with a record of 22-23, fighting out of Detroit, Michigan. Please welcome Bernard Harris. And to my left, fighting out of the red corner from Mount Clemens, Michigan. He has a record of 8 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. 7 KOs. Please welcome Alexis, the Hurricane Hloros. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing, and your referee in charge is Ansel Stewart.
Well, take us through the matchup, Frank.
Well, Steve, Bernard Harris is about 40 pounds heavier than he was in his prime, but I don't think he's lost his speed. He was really fast, and I think that's going to be the big factor that doesn't show up on the tail of the tape.
Well, we'll find out soon enough as the bell is upcoming in a few seconds. There's the bell, round 1 between Alexis Hloros in the blue, and in the white, Bernard Harris. Hloros coming out aggressive right away.
You know, Hloros said that he wanted to end this fight possibly in the first or second round.
Well, he's coming out that way, throwing good stiff jabs. But we've got a wily veteran in Bernard Harris, so I don't know if that tactic will work. And I don't know, Hloros looks like he did land a nice little chopping left hook on the chin.
He's moving to the side. He's not following Harris around. Although he is now, there he is. He's moving off to the side. He's cutting that ring off.
Yeah, he has him on this corner. If he just take a step to the right, he'll get him in that corner, let him out. But he landed 2 punches as he got out of the way of the corner. Hloros is very aggressive here in the first round.
He's doing a great job with his jab, too, against someone that's a lot faster than him.
Well, he tries to land that right behind it, decided to miss. But I like the fact is that Hloros is using that jab to try to set up that right hand. And last time, is 2 double jabs. Oh, followed by 2 left hooks.
I like the fact that he's more contained. He seems to be more in control. He's not wild anymore.
Well, I like the fact that I just saw an uppercut, so I've seen hooks, uppercuts, jabs, and now they're all landing, one after another. I mean, Harris hadn't had a chance to even catch his breath, Frank.
That's right.
Hloros landing good 2 stiff jabs. I love the fact he's double jabbing. Oh, nice right hook to the body.
The only thing is he's getting that Detroit look. He's got that left hand down there on his hip, like so many Detroit boxers do.
You know, very few people can get by with that because you can get countered. You have to be very fast to make that up jab work. It's not for everybody. Not everybody can be Tommy Hearns.
No. There's only one Tommy Hearns.
Hloros continues to stalk his prey. Bernard Harris showing some wily veteran moves, but Hloros increasingly finding a home for that left hook.
He's just not being wild with his punches. He's making them count.
No, good steady pace by Hloros, and he's landing punches. That left hook is landing repeatedly on the chin of Harris. There it is again.
He's pumping that jab, but he doesn't seem to be expending a lot of energy.
No, he looks very relaxed when he's throwing his punches, and I think that's the key. I mean, there he landed 3 jabs in the left hook. And now he's taking his time to measure Harris. But Harris having a slight rally on the way back.
He's setting things up. He's just not throwing a punch to throw a punch. If it doesn't land, he's not going to waste it.
No, very impressive performance here in this first round by Alexis Hloros. I dare to say it's the best I've seen him look in the 4 or 5 fights I've commentated on. There a nice little uppercut there to end the first round.
Especially against someone with as much experience as Harris has.
Very impressive first round. We come to the bell. Alexis Hloros and Bernard Harris. Round 2. We await the bell. There's the bell to start of round 2. Alexis Hloros in the blue, Bernard Harris, the wily veteran, in the white. And Frank, how did you see that first round?
I gave that first round to Hloros. You know, Hloros is no longer that brawler that we used to see. He's evolved into a more complete fighter.
Well, it looks like he's trying to set up his punches, but he came out aggressive in the first round. He's coming out aggressive here in the second round. But what impresses me, it seems like controlled aggression as he lands 2 good left hooks.
Very contained, very controlled, Steve. And he's working everything off that jab.
Bernard Harris showing some good defensive moves, but he hasn't been too much on offense. There he tries to land that right hand, but Hloros gets out of the way, although he just catches a glancing blow there.
He seems, that being Hloros, seems to push that jab every now and then. I'm sure that over time the corner will correct that.
2 good chopping right hands by Hloros. He earlier landed 2 good left hooks to the body. Hloros continues to land a good volume and a good rate, and some of them look like they've had some effect. Although Harris now is going on the offense a little bit. Oh, good 2 double left hooks by Harris. Hloros counters with that double jab, which is so impressive, using 2 jabs at one time.
That's always been Harris's forte. He had quick hands, landed good punches, but the downside was he didn't have much power behind him.
Hloros continues to land that little chopping left hook, almost a jab left hook. Harris now is beginning to try to work the body as he has 2 left hooks to the body. But Hloros continues to counter and outwork.
He looks a lot bigger physically, so I wonder how much tired, if Harris will get tired as the rounds go on.
Harris was able to land a little bit of a counter, but Hloros, I think, shaking him up. A good uppercut came in there. He's got him on the ropes. The left hook lands, the right over the top, another right hook, another uppercut. He has Harris in trouble. Oh, he's just whirling away at him. 1 punch after another. Harris tries to counter. Hloros has him in position, and I think Harris was in a little bit of trouble, but he may have weathered the storm.
That uppercut really worked for him, like you said, Steve. And again, he had his fighter hurt, but he was still composed and didn't get wild.
Harris now counters with a right of his own, seeking to take advantage of what might be a little bit of a lull in the storm. Hloros probably trying to conserve some energy at this point, so he doesn't punch himself out. Oh, good left-right combination by Harris comes back. Left to the body, right upstairs, but Hloros then comes back with that good stiff double jab. Good back and forth action.
Good move on the part of Hloros to go back to the jab that was working for him earlier.
And he lands a nice uppercut as Harris tries to counter the right. That uppercut continues to land as we come to the 10-second mark of the round. Another good round for Hloros as he continues to land left and right counters as we come right to the bell. That uppercut goes right into the bell and a left slightly after the bell. Good round for Alexis Hloros. 2 rounds in the bank on my scorecard for young Mr. Hloros. And we'll come back in a moment for exciting action in round 3 right after this break. Well, back with you for more action from round 2. And take us through it, Frank.
Well, you see Hloros working off his jab, and he got that uppercut in there. And that uppercut, like you said, Steve, has been working for him that whole round.
And I also like that short little left hook. It almost looks like it's going to be a jab, and then it hooks in. And also, to me, the volume here, Frank, just tremendous volume by Hloros.
The volume and the fact that they're landing when he throws them.
Well, there's the bell for round 3, Hloros versus Harris, and what has been an action-packed 2 rounds with Hloros dominating on my scorecard. How do you have the scores, Frank?
I've got both rounds for Hloros. And I think Hloros is going to realize that the veteran Harris is going to be able to take this into some rounds.
Well, Harris is coming back with some jabs of his own this round. He's trying to start faster. He did throw some rights. The Hloros countered with a couple of stiff jabs of his own, but the third round is starting to be, right now, an even round in the first 30 seconds or so. Hloros landing those uppercuts, but give Harris credit. He looks like he's coming back and now trying to mount an attack of his own.
Well, the other thing that he's doing, Steve, is he's taken a half step inside. He's cut that gap, taking the power away from Hloros.
Well, in that exchange, he also landed one of his own uppercuts. He took a page from Hloros' book. I wonder if he senses that Hloros may be slowing down the pace because of the volume of the first 2 rounds.
Well, he may be sensing that, but Hloros looks to be in pretty good shape, and I don't think he started breathing heavy yet.
He seems to be very relaxed, which to me is the key to going any rounds. And he's still using that jab to try to set up the next punch.
This is the most relaxed, like you said, Steve, that I've ever seen him.
You know, Harris continues to lean over, which is why he's getting caught with that uppercut as Hloros just throws another one. But Harris now tries to rally himself, and Hloros turns and spins him and just misses with the right hand.
You know, I'm not sure, Steve, that when Harris looks down, if he's looking at the floor. If he's doing that, then he has no visibility at all.
Good exchange, good toe-to-toe action. Harris coming out more aggressive here in the third. He probably senses he's behind from the first 2 rounds, and there's a big difference between being down 2-1 and 3-0 in a 6-round fight. This is a must-win round for Harris if he wants to try to win a decision.
Still a very close round the way that I see it, Steve.
I have a very close round as Harris lands a good body shot. Hloros then counters with 2. Oh, good 2-punch combination by Harris, but to Hloros is great. He goes back, toe-to-toe action and a chopping right by Hloros. These fighters are throwing some leather, Frank.
You know, it seems as though Hloros slowed down a little bit in his arm speed. But he still has the power.
Well, it looks like he just backed Harris up with a good stiff jab and a 3-punch combination. There's that little left hook. He's trying to time Harris. Harris trying to do that tick-tock defense. But here comes Harris, just as Hloros rallies, then comes Harris.
Yeah, but Harris held on. I think all this action that Hloros did in the last 15 seconds might have been enough to sway the judges in his favor.
Very close round, and Hloros may have won it with that last flurry. We still have 5 seconds left. Let's see if somebody can land a dramatic punch. No, they don't. End of round 3. Hloros and Harris. And we'll be back in a moment after this break. Back at you with action from round 3. And Frank, what do you see?
Well, I see Hloros having the heavier hands of the 2. And I think these punches that he's landing are starting to take their toll on Harris. Looks right there like Harris is just slowing down.
How do you have it scored for 3?
I've got all 3 rounds going to Hloros.
As do I, which means that Harris now is in the position he has to win all 3 rounds as we enter round 4. Hloros in the blue, Harris in the white. Round 3 much closer than the first 2 rounds. Hloros may have done enough at the end to steal the round. Oh, nice body work by Hloros.
That body work that Hloros is doing is really starting to take its toll on
And
him.
Hloros lands a nice uppercut at the same time. But Harris rallies back, give the veteran credit. He is trying to make a fight of it. Oh, he lands nice 2 good hooks. But then Hloros comes back with an uppercut. Good back and forth action.
I just think that Hloros is just too big for Harris. You know that? It's a big move up in weight.
Well, and age may have something to do with it. Harris 34, Hloros 29. Harris probably on the downside of his career, and Hloros doesn't have many miles on his tires, so it just may be a changing of the guard here, Frank.
Good point, Steve. And this is the type of fight that Hloros needs. He needs to go up against somebody that isn't just going to fall down the first time he hits him.
Now he's fighting the former NBA as well as the IBC world champion. A fighter who's fought on HBO, was ranked number 8 in the WBC. or WBA. So it's a good test for young Alexis Hloros. And right now he passing with flying colors as he lands a good left hook to the body earlier.
Yes, he is. And again, once again, I'm very impressed with how relaxed he is in the ring. They're really doing a good job, his trainers and the people working with him. In my opinion, I think he's a very promising looking fighter.
Well, he's showing a great range of punches, good composure, nice test, and now he's back to working behind the jab and throwing that left hook. Here's that uppercut. Harris comes back with the 2 shots, but then Hloros answers with 3.
Good counter punch.
Oh, good toe-to-toe punching. Harris lands a punch and Hloros lands a punch. Harris trying to make a fight of it here in the 4th round. In a round he needs to win if he wants to try to get a draw. Oh, in the low of the action, he takes a good 2-punch combination from Hloros, but he answers on his own. Hloros snaps his head back with an uppercut. He has Harris holding on.
That's a bad sign on Harris's part.
No, I think the tide is turned strongly in the favor of Hloros after a fairly close 3rd round. And look at Hloros working that body. Oh, another good left hook by Hloros. Hloros really working the body to the pay dividends, but Harris comes back as to say, I'm still here. Lands 3 shots of his own, 2 to the body. But you just get the sense that Hloros has more bullets in the chamber. As we come to the 10-second mark, toe-to-toe action. Hloros fires right after Harris is fired. Harris comes back. Hloros comes back. Punches right to the bell as we end round 4. And we'll be back in a moment with, well, welcome back, boxing fans, as we have to treat our ring card girl for round 5, doing a wonderful job, help entertaining the fans as well as the ring announcers. And speaking of entertaining, here's some solid action from the last round.
So this is a good fight for Hloros. Even though he's winning every round, he's still getting taken to school. Harris is still bringing the fight to Hloros on occasion, and I think he's teaching him some things here.
Well, that replay, you see, he nodded his head at him. It was like, is that all you got? Very impressive performance by young Alexis Hloros. As we start the 5th round and the 6th round fight, a fight in which I've got Hloros up 4-0 going into the 5th.
I do too, Steve.
Which means Harris needs a knockdown or 2 or a knockout on our part. Harris lands that right as if he heard what we had to say. Hloros determined not to let him get back into the fight. Hloros looking very cool, calm, and collected here in the 5th round.
Well, he slowed it down a little bit, but he's still using his jab to set everything up.
Good stiff jabs, and he's scoring points with those jabs.
You know, I don't think I've seen Hloros clinch once this fight. Have you seen him?
No, I've seen Harris clinch, but even in the clinches, Hloros tries to let his hands go. And Hloros always looks like he's having fun in there. He's beginning to pot shot him with that jab. Look at that jab landing, and it's a good snap on that jab.
You know, every time we've seen him, the last few outings, his style seems to change. And I mean that in a way that I don't think that he's changing the way he's fighting. I just think that he's learning more and he's evolving into a better fighter.
Oh, nice.
That was very good body.
He's really working that body. Harris tries to claim that. Tells me those body shots are having effect. Oh, Harris has a 4-punch rally, but I think too little too late. Harris now moving in and out, landing the volley and then getting out of there. But here comes Hloros.
You know, the crowd's getting a little restless. Maybe they want a knockout, but it's going to be hard for Hloros to get a knockout over a veteran like Harris.
Well, he just landed a good right that I think buzzed Harris a little bit, but you have to be careful going for that knockout because he's got the fight well in hand, so why take, an unnecessary risk and open yourself up? I like this calm, cautious approach. He's still throwing plenty of punches. He's still landing plenty of punches. I just call this a good professional effort on the part of Alexis Hloros.
He's just more polished than we've seen him in the last few outings.
Well, he just dug in 2 good body shots. Harris answered with 2 of his own, but they didn't have quite the same pop on it. See, Harris is trying to rally Frank, but I just don't think he has anything left on his punches.
No. He doesn't have the power to keep Hloros off of him. Hey, he tried a little bolo punch there.
Harris, to me, looks very tired at this point.
I think that body work on Hloros is done in the early round is starting to take the toll.
Oh, good right hand by Hloros. Oh, another good right hand. I think that won the round for him. Oh, good up jab. He's really pushing Harris back right as we go to the bell. Good 10-second finishing. Good way to finish the round. End the round 5. And we'll be back in a moment with the 6th and final round right after this break. Welcome back, boxing fans, for the break between round 5 and 6. As you look at young Alexis Hloros in the corner, now we see Bernard Harris. Just looking at the two, it looks like Hloros is fresher, and as we see this action, certainly looks like he has more starch on his punches.
He's got more starch, he's got more strength, he's got more stamina. He's in full control of this bout, Steve.
Harris is trying to fight back here in the replay, but you see that Hloros is just more effective in placing his punches, and they seem to have more power on him. As we hit the bell, touching up the gloves, 6th and final round, Alexis Hloros in the blue trunks, Bernard Harris in the white. What's been a very entertaining, action-packed fight with young Alexis Hloros really showing a wide array and arsenal, but give Harris credit because he stays in the fight, he's trying, and I think he just fell down from exhaustion there.
He's frustrated a little bit and got a little bit of a push. Not only is this a good fight for Hloros, but it's also a very educational fight for him too. I mean, it was a good matchup the last time around against Corey Peterson, but the fight only lasted about 14 seconds, and he didn't really learn that much. Where in this fight, even though everybody wants to see him knock out Harris, I think he's better served by going the full 6 rounds, and he's going to learn more through the experience of having this fight.
Well, Hloros is trying for the knockout. Looks like he's digging deep and throwing hard punches. Just landed a good uppercut. I just worry he might punch himself out at this stage, because when you try to throw hard punches, you use up a lot of energy as opposed to being relaxed. But he did just land a good uppercut.
And again, he might be better served just to let the action go where it goes.
To Harris's credit, Harris coming forward, he continues to throw punches. Not a lot on the punches, but they do score so much.
Well, one thing we did learn is that Hloros can go 6 rounds, and he can throw punches for 6 rounds.
Harris rallying, Harris doing a good left hook to the body, and Hloros comes back and a good uppercut. Now Harris is trying to come back on the attack. Both fighters very tired at this point, but give them credit, they're both throwing punches. There's Harris trying 2 punches to the body, but Hloros answers. Oh, those punches had a little more on them by Harris that time.
Yep. You know what, Steve? I think he called it right at the very beginning of the fight. This is, I think, what you would call a change into the guards.
Harris is trying hard here in the 6th round. He might even be winning the 6th round. It's a close round. Harris landing 3 punches. Hloros landing 1 good counter. Hloros looks very tired at this point. For the first time, I see some fatigue.
They're both fired, but we really haven't seen that much holding or clinching.
Interesting there. Harris clinches, but Hloros lets him clinch, which shows me he was happy from the break, too. Harris landing a good number of punches there. Hloros did counter with a good shot of his own.
The other thing I want to give credit to, Steve, is for all the inside action that you've seen in this bout, I haven't seen the heads collide once.
Oh, good 3-punch combination by Harris. Harris has got Hloros on the ropes. He's trying his hardest. He is so tired, he's now grabbing the ropes to try to get a little bit of a break, but not Hloros out. But give Harris credit for going in there and throwing his hands. Oh, a right hand by Harris. Another right hand by Harris. Hloros countered. Harris scored 2 right hands. Just not enough on him to do damage, but they scored, Frank.
They scored, but he had to pay a price for him.
10 seconds to go. Toe-to-toe action here in the 6th. Both fighters desperately trying to land that knockout punch. Harris throwing a right hand. Hloros countering with a right of his own. Toe-to-toe action right at the bell. Good action. Good fight, Frank.
Good fight. Very good fight for Hloros. I think he learned a lot from this fight.
And we've got some action here from that 6th round, Frank.
Steve, this is it. There towards the end of the round, both these fighters were getting a little tired. Alexis got backed up into the ropes, and Harris was able to get some punches off right there before the bell.
Well, I thought a very good, entertaining fight. Harris certainly tried, but I was very impressed with young Alexis Hloros. As you can see here, I think he's effectively fighting off the ropes. Well, let's go to the decision to see if the judges agree with how we had it scored. Here's Kara Rowe with the announcement.
After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge McAlpin scores it 59-55. Judge Brashik scores it 59-55. And Chambers scores it 59-55. All in favor of a unanimous decision for Alexis.
eliminate to Harris and maybe giving him a round for trying. Not too bad, but certainly I thought an impressive performance by Alexis Hloros tonight.
I agree, Steve. I had it 6-0 just like you, but I won't argue about giving a round to Harris. Well, Hloros is just, again, he's working off that jab, and that was the key, I think, to his victory tonight. And his counter-punching, especially that, like you said, that uppercut that he put in his arsenal this week.
Yeah, and I see two good hooks right off the ropes, too. Very effective. Well, let's see what our winner has to say. Kara Rowe has our Flatline.com interview with the winner, Alexis Hloros.
Thanks, Steve. Alexis, you fought a highly decorated veteran. He has 45 fights. Does this feel like a milestone in your career to fight someone with that caliber?
I'd like to give honor and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That, first of all, he's an incredible fighter. I've known him for a long time. Fighting a man in his caliber lets me know I'm ready for the top-of-the-line fighters. Me and him, we're out friends, but we know when we get in his ring, it's business. And I'll take my hat off to him because he's a respectable man, and he had to gain weight to fight me, so I have a lot of respect for him.
Now, Alexis, we have never seen you this composed. You're improving fight after fight. Is that something you're working on in the gym, or is that just you getting in the ring more often now?
Actually, since you guys been to see me improve, I got two trainers, Greg Owens and Lewis Watts. They've been really improving me. They've been giving me a lot of pointers and getting me together so I come out here and perform for the audience.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Steve.
Well, thank you, Kara, with our Flatline.com interview. And good action here at the 6th round, good action in the fight. And we'll be back with more action right after this break and a word from our sponsors.